Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Heat. What does her looks have to do with him harassing her?
Listen, y'all be getting booty ties. Y'all be like, ooh, booty, and you just harass. Like, y'all don't even think straight. You just think booty.
How do you differentiate those? All right, I love the dick, or I love the thing that's attached to it.
All vaginas are beautiful.
They are.
And like back in the day, people like when you displayed like being a nerd or stuff, like why are you acting white? What?
And I always hated
Why
that.
is nerdiness associated with caucasity? I don't understand.
Me personally, I just keep my comments to myself, bro.
Girl, I seen you in all of them comments, man. I seen you sending memes and you going like this. I
Somebody was.
Childhood trauma, okay?
Somebody was tromboning a flute on the side. That's what they were doing.
Wow, they are really dogging me in these comments. They said I'm definitely more of a future than a Russell Wilson. Yo, y'all are foul as shit. They already talking about sensational. Look, I'm about to have my hoochie daddy shorts on all summer. Look, I'm ready.
Look, let me see
Oh
some
my
eyes.
god.
Real hot boy shit, okay? Real hot boy shit.
I
Boy.
guess.
Well, I guess I am Cooley, and I messed up my nail today.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. True story. True. How does this happen after a week of them being done? Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Like it developed an air bubble, and then I guess the air bubble popped, and I'm just over it.
Your
Like, how does
nail
that
didn't want to be a
happen?
nail anymore. That's all that is. We just all government out here? What in the world? Government? Okay, Thomas. You want your last name out there too? Because I got that. I got your address. We do that too.
123 Sesame Street, Petersburg, Virginia.
Y'all funny.
Ooh, she know too. Ugh. Somebody wrote it down though. Yeah, somebody did.
They can't
Well,
hear.
you already
Y'all can't hear
introduced
me?
me, so there you go.
What? This whole time y'all couldn't hear me, yo?
They said they can't
We can
hear.
hear you. That's weird.
Can they
Now
not
we
hear all of
can.
us?
They
What?
said, there it goes. You're
Y'all
good,
hear
you're
them?
good.
Mm.
Damn, I've been
You
talking
is
cold
good.
cash shit too. That's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
all the junk we talked.
Well, that's okay, because that means I get to introduce myself last. You know, like I said, the best for last anyway. So by all means,
Oh my God.
Snook, speak on it, player.
Oh, touche.
You.
Thank you, G Snooker.
Yes, sir.
King, top notch of the hill. And then we can let him go. Go ahead.
Wear your hat the way you wanted to, Snook.
Yeah, let me put
Do
the
it.
floor out there.
Be
with
Yes,
us.
Mr. Flower Power
you.
Let me press
himself.
Prince of Bel Air, y'all,
Mr.
representing the
Flower
four
Power.
ladies today.
Anyway, without further ado, I am the one and the only Tommy Bars. Gotta love it. Yo, Asa with the sub. Appreciate you, brother, man. Who got that one? Who got that one? Hey, Darth Mistress got that one. So, yo, season 1, episode 2. Theme is IDs, please. It's all about you as a person, your identity, what you stand for, your values, and everything else in between. So we're going to get right into it. Actually,
Sorry,
I'm
man.
wrong. We're not gonna get right into it because I want to ask y'all a question real quick.
Go ahead,
'Cause,
shoot, just shoot it.
it's been a lot of stuff going on right now, and we touched on this last week, and it's crazy how this happened this week. Rihanna's back on the market. Hallelujah!
Oh my god.
I don't know.
I got something common with her.
That boy A$AP cheated on Rihanna. How you cheat on Rihanna, bruh?
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't
she's
know either.
pregnant.
Something common. Pregnant and single.
Single and
I
pregnant.
hope y'all caught that.
Y'all terrible, bruh. How you
That
cheat
is
on Rihanna,
crazy.
bruh?
You know, you have a third thing in common. Neither one of y'all want Tommy either, so there's 3.
Excuse me?
Oh.
Man, first off, I'm a hot commodity in these streets, okay? You better recognize. You better recognize.
I don't know. I
respect.
don't know.
Now, don't get lost too much
But
in
no, I wanna.
the unreal world there, Tommy, especially when we're talking about identity.
This is why I brought this up though, because I've been noticing that there's a trend going on, especially among celebrities. I mean, it's not just among celebrities, but I think because it's happening now among celebrities a lot, it's becoming more prevalent. But a lot of men are cheating on women during their pregnancy.
Yeah, because men are trash.
Wow.
Hello?
Jay-Z did cheat
Amen.
on Beyonce. I mean,
Amen. Amen.
Why do you always say that
Men
like Jay-Z is
ain't-
the like epitome of men?
right.
Like, yeah, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. So what?
Right.
I saw a post that said, "What's the worst sign you ever dated?" I said, "A male."
Hey, I have a question for the chat though, while we're kind of talking a little bit. I want to get their take on what identity is or how they identify, or how when somebody asks you who you are, what's that look like? Define identity.
Well, I mean,
Back
since
to
we
what
get
we're
into
saying.
that, I say we go ahead and whip out the hot seat real quick. And I say a return viewer that
Gotta
they
give
will be
them time.
perfect for this.
There's a couple of them too.
Boom!
Yeah.
On my finger, yo.
Welcome back, Canella. You definitely was active last time too.
Definitely was. Definitely appreciate you for coming back to our humble abode and chilling with the
Tell
crew.
A$AP throwing them subs and talk. Put him in the hot seat too.
Right, you're right. Let's put Ace in the
Trying
hot seat.
to flaunt the money so he can't talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right, Daddy Warbucks, bring your ass in here and talk a little bit, man. Yo, is that Cheeks? Yo, Cheeks is in the chat, Snook.
Chef Boy Mac.
Chef Boy B Mac. Chef Boy B Mac. And I forgot earlier. Because, you know, since he did give the sub, I guess we can give him a shout out at least.
That's one.
That's one.
That's one?
Well,
Don't worry
about it.
Keep watch.
Don't worry about it. Might have a special something for whoever can figure this one out.
Tommy is lost in the sauce. He
It's
don't know his ID.
I thought we was gonna let them speak for. Did y'all want me to speak on how I identify?
Go ahead.
What is your definition of identity? First of all,
My definition of identity is
Mhm.
what you as a human being represent. I know that's vague, but I mean like from just your personality, your values, the things you stand for, the things you stand behind, you know, your dreams, your ambitions, your goals, your background, your future, or at least the future you're planning. I think all that identifies you. That a good enough answer for you?
Yes.
Okay, there we go, Cardinella. Identity is your core values, your passion, your integrity, and your principles. For example, let's go.
I thought it was that plastic thing that you put in your wallet in the right back pocket. You know?
I would show mine, but there's some people looking for me in the world, right? I can't do that. I'm joking.
What?
Damn, another one bites us. Boom, boom, boom. Another
Yeah, I don't
one
know.
bites the dust, and another one.
I'm gonna play that one.
Let me stop before she get my ass when she come back. But
Yeah, 'cause she can.
since I spoke on my ID, hello, hello.
Yeah, Michelle, what you saying?
Who talk? Who? Who we
You,
talking?
you.
Me?
Stop worrying about that now.
Right.
I am hyper focused on it. I'm sorry.
Uh huh.
Um, Dang, that's a hard one, especially for me because I'm still trying to figure out exactly who I am and what that means.
Mm.
I'm going through, I guess, what you call a quarter life crisis. It's cool though.
Mm.
Quarter life
So I don't
crisis.
know. I
Okay.
guess it's really hard to answer that because, like I said, I don't really know at this point because I feel like I'm trying to I guess, identify myself because I thought I knew who I was and I don't. So I guess
Mhm.
who you feel like you are at heart. I guess that's really vague. That sounds so cringy and cliche. Um,
So while we wait for Jamie to get back in, can I speak on that? What you said just a little bit. So
yeah.
it's not. I don't think it's so much that you don't know who you are. It's just that we as human beings we are consistently evolving. The person that you may have known yourself to be in 2010 is not the person you know yourself to be now in 2022. The person I was in 2017 is definitely the person I was in 2022. It's just a thing of evolving, maturing, and of course, as you do, is just relearning who you are as an individual.
Mhm.
That's what makes being human so amazing.
But then it's like and I'm like,
Minutes.
hey, and
You
sometimes
made it
I'm just like,
back.
did I really ever know who I was? So it's like I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. So I don't know. So I guess identity. Wow. Okay. Identity. Um, identity is I guess like I don't know, just feeling who you truly are. Like I feel like it's something you feel and not something you acknowledge, if that makes sense. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like
Hmm.
it's not something I could really just tell you and give you a definition and put a label on. It's something I feel. Like I feel like myself. This is my identity. I don't know how to explain it in words people can understand.
Mm.
Hmm. That's interesting. A
Okay.
feeling. I never thought about identity as a feeling. Hmm. I
Okay.
guess
How about
for like the scientifical
it's a word
def-
now.
Science.
Keep going.
Scientific.
not did that on purpose. Is
So
identity
wrong to
is
get in the chat.
characteristics um of your like the characteristics and things that are made up or you are made up of. And so like Tommy's very well like, it's changing, you're ever evolving, you're learning, you're growing, you're sometimes you're falling, sometimes you're flying. But I think that those core, like how you say you can still feel who you are because you haven't at your core, you're still that, you still have that identity of Michelle.
Right.
But you're going through a pregnancy right now, so you're like, okay, I'm a pregnant woman, but it doesn't change who you are at your core. It doesn't change. Aw, don't cry. Come here. Aw.
I told you I'm a freeform special, y'all. Single and pregnant. Catch me on primetime TV.
Mm-mm-mm.
Aw.
Not really. It's been a very interesting period of my life. Definitely, yeah. It's been very interesting. We'll say it like that. Now I'm just going to chalk it down to it being my quarter life crisis. So it's cool. So who's next? Who's Snut?
Told you, it's the thing in the back of my pocket. Right?
That
Oh,
is that is not what an
And
ID is,
what?
but
it's
okay,
not.
if you
Huh,
know.
It literally
okay.
is with an ID. All right. Um, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to go with that. I agree with it being more of a feel. I feel like you said, you going through your quarter life. I feel like I've been there already, and I feel like it's accepting Like, you got to accept the change around you, but you also got to accept the change in yourself, which means you got to start doing things that you thought that you knew about yourself, like your interests. You need to go out and redefine what those are, what your interests are, what your passion is, what your hobby is. You know, what connects you to the roots, um, what detaches you from those roots, because that's important too to build your own unique identity, is to know what takes you from those roots as well. So I mean, I feel like I can go for days about identity, so I'm gonna just keep it to the plastic on the back of my pocket.
So I have a question. When you're defining you and you're identifying by these things, do you guys think that your passions and your purpose are part of identity? And have you found those?
Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, say that again. Get into the chat. Hey, Monster Mark, she asked you a question.
Yeah, you know
Hey,
what?
Mom,
Yes,
you wanted to say hi to
since
the
you
white
are
lady,
freshly in here,
and now she asked you a question, Ron.
let's go ahead.
Go ahead, Jamie. Ask the question again, because they wasn't listening. They was just staring.
Oh
That's how they will listen
God.
now. Mark, you in the hot seat. Pay attention.
I don't even remember the question I asked exactly. I said, "Oh God, you want me to reword that? Say that
No,
again."
it was pretty much do you feel
It
like
was a
you
good
found
one.
your identity, something like that, something along the lines of
So
that.
yeah, once you okay, so with that, those characteristics and knowing you and who you are and all this jazz, do you think that your purpose and your passion are part of identity, and have you found those? That's for anyone, everyone, you guys, chat, all of that. And also
Um,
on the back end of it, if you haven't, do you feel like that is also stopping you from having that solid identity as well?
hmm.
Okay.
Wait, you saying having the passion could
Knowing
stop me?
having passion, knowing your passions and purpose. So like your purpose here in this world, your purpose, your place, what you're here for, or what your passions and your passions and your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, okay, let me give an example. This might be helpful. So for me, when people ask, what are you passionate about? What's your purpose? And even down to my job, I'm in the job in the field of my passion, and my purpose is being here to helping and improving, leaving a better mark on the world, leaving something better behind than the way I found it. Um, so I can say, yes, I know my passions, I know my purpose, and I am living that, which plays a role into my identity. Whereas before I felt lost, like I didn't know who I was, but I also didn't know those two pieces either before.
Does passion and purpose tie in with your identity? That's
Okay.
that's how Cardinal
Yeah, perceived it.
made it struck. Yeah.
Very good question.
Good question. Cardinal, a good question. Answer
I
it.
would say yeah.
Yeah. I
Because
agree.
that turns into my feeling, kind of like how you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, because like I do tie in like my goals, passion, and purposes a lot into, I guess, who I think I am. So I agree with that. Definitely do.
I honestly feel like, I mean, I'm not going to say that you need a passion to have identity, but I feel like without some type of passion in regards to anything, whether it be, your family, your friends, your kids, your goals, your dreams, if you don't have passion in regards to something, I feel like it leads to a miserable life. And then that ties into that misery just feeding into your identity, your personality, and it affects your identity as a person. Like you may come off as, just a tightwad. You might come off as, just uninspired. You might just, you know, come off as just unsettling. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like your passion has a lot to do, your passion and purpose do tie in a lot with who you are as a person.
You guys found those? You guys
I
know
don't
them?
know. What passions and
Me?
purpose?
Yeah,
Oh
your
yeah,
passion and
yeah, I have.
passions and purposes.
Yeah, purposes and
Yeah.
passions.
Right.
There's a plethora of those things.
Yes. Yes.
There's a plethora of purposes and passions. PPP. But I don't. I mean, I don't know.
I
Cause
can't
sometimes
stand this guy. I swear.
for me, man, don't pay me no mind. I've been sipping before we started this, and I'm gonna continue
I've been
sipping.
sipping those. My homeboy say he got it. No, I'm joking.
Actually,
That's my water.
Jamie. But I feel like, how can I say
That's great.
it? It is 3. I don't know. I feel like it's a hard question for me because I feel like there's a lot of you get yourself stuck in positions where you have a purpose or a passion that's misleading to your identity. So I'm about to explain that.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Elaborate.
please explain.
I can
I
explain
like
it.
that.
I feel like there's points where there could be a dude that put a lot of passion into the purpose of doing something that they shouldn't be doing because they feel like that's what they're supposed to be doing or that's what they were born or put in a position to do nonstop. And the whole time never got the chance to realize their true identity because they never got to be exposed to things that would actually guide them to the right purpose and passion that they would want or have or that would fit their identity. So
See,
So
I
are
don't
you
know.
referring to like following in someone's footsteps or like
that
Yes,
makes
that
me
is a
think.
way that can happen. You can follow in someone's
Predetermined.
footsteps and that not be
Right.
your actual purpose and passion, but because you fit the role that was given to you, you know what I'm saying, that you're pushing it in, but that's not your true identity. So
Right.
it's
I,
it's kind of,
ooh,
you
yes.
know what I'm saying? You know.
Too
That
hype. Too
ties
hype.
into those
You too hype.
generational curses. And that ties
Mhm.
into when you're speaking, I can also hear like men, are raised up and what a man should be as a man or a woman should be as a man. And, a man can get stuck in being passionate about working and providing, being a provider, and see his identity as a man, as a father, where a lot of people do that. A big, vast majority of people do that, where they identify, I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a wife, and forget I'm Jamie, I'm Tommy, I'm Michelle, I'm Snook. Like, but I see where you're going with that too, with those generational curses. And I like how you put that.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm.
I mean,
Just
I guess
letting you
is
know.
that a question for the chat? Do y'all believe in generational curses? And if so, what does that look like to you? That's my question for y'all. I don't ever
I
ask.
want to know what other people think generational curses are. I'm excited.
Yeah, I want to know. See, look, I'm gonna put our
No.
viewers on blast for a moment, and I love y'all, but we did ask this question on Instagram, and we got no love. It's okay though. I still love you guys.
Right? Poor
But y'all go
people.
show us love right now, so it's redeemable.
It
It's
happens.
okay.
It happens.
Mm.
It's
I
all
love
right.
y'all.
Beginner phase. We're gonna chop some balls off next time they don't respond. You know what I'm saying? I know where some of y'all live. That's in this chat. I just want y'all to know that.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of them, I guess, don't follow me either, so it's okay.
So all of
It's
it.
forgivable. It's forgivable. So I guess pause from. We need some like waiting music, like how Jeopardy has.
Five.
Ding.
Song and dance.
Well,
Ooh.
Cornella says something. Can somebody read that?
Yeah, I'm seeing it
I feel
now.
like as you are moving with a passion that isn't really yours, you will eventually feel that it actually isn't your passion because it does not fulfill you.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
spot freaking on. Yes.
Deep.
Ugh,
Mhm.
I
That
hate
is.
how good that is.
Whew. That is right on the money.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right on the
People
money.
be lost in the sauce, though. I agree with that, but some people will accept to be unfulfilled.
Some people are scared to
Why?
pursue their passion.
Why?
Some people are scared. Sometimes
Change is hard for people.
right. Sometimes it's safer and easier to follow in this predetermined, purpose than to take a chance and a leap of faith and pursue your own dreams, your own passions, your own purpose. I mean, it's dangerous. It's very
So it's
dangerous.
basically taking the easy way out. So it's either
Right.
take the easy way out and be unhappy for the rest of your life, or I guess bounce to the beat of your own drum and challenge the
True to yourself, to who you are. Don't let
choose
society.
yourself, be
Perfect
true.
example. Snoop had his hat turned around because we was talking junk about him looking like Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So it
I
allowed
like
that
the hat.
societal pressure, that peer pressure, all those things to even switch up the way you wore your hat
I was
to
trying to
change who
compliment
you
the
were.
ladies, y'all. That's all it
Yeah,
was. Don't
change who
listen to
you
her.
were. Okay, that's just a
Mommy
simple
ain't get the
way.
memo. It's okay though.
Y'all don't tell me shit.
Are
My
we
bad.
getting any answers on
Look,
what?
we need an ESP. That's what happened.
There was some
So,
ESP shit because we did not speak to each other about this.
no,
No, not at all.
Apparently, I was left
no.
out of the
This is
Nexus because I didn't get this ESP signal.
Mm,
like it
mm.
was what 85 degrees today. I said no. It's the day for flowers.
Yes, a nice
So,
dress. Right?
Ron
Where
Mhm.
is
says
it
some people
for
don't
what a
even know
generational curse is?
what their true passion or purpose is, though. Just be lost, like me. Ron, you ain't
Damn, why y'all
lost.
deep? Why y'all deep?
I feel it.
There's plenty of us is
I know.
lost in the sauce,
I
man.
feel you.
But it's not
I feel you because I'm in
always.
a point of lost.
It's not always being lost. Sometimes your purpose and passion just hasn't appeared. I mean, for me, since the age of 10, I thought music was what I wanted to do. Don't get me wrong, I still want to do music. But then I got a little bit older. Yo, Savage, what up? What up? I got a little bit older and I realized like rapping was the only talent I had. I found out I could sing really well. Found out I could act very well. I found out I could write. Well, I always knew I could write, but found out I could write really
Right.
well. You know, I found out that I could turn gaming into something bigger than just me tapping on a controller for hours. Like my passion evolved from me just wanting to rap to me wanting to entertain. I realized that entertaining people is what I'm really good at, and I love to do it. Which is why I feel like for me, that's my purpose. That's my passion, and I love doing it.
Hey, Clapping Cheeks, also known as Chef Boy BMAC. Since you called him Ron out about lying, yeah, his name is Clapping Cheeks, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's his gamer tag.
Cheek clapper is what they call him. Chicken killer is what he do. But
I mean, Call of Duty.
Every
He gets
conversation.
clapping, but
I'm not lying about nothing I'm saying. I'm
It's
not
the
just
chicken killer. It's the chicken
Am I lying?
killer.
Am I
you ain't
lying?
lying.
But all right, so what is your definition of generational curses? On top of that, because we are so deep on Ron, or Ron feels like we're so deep and you think he's lying, then how do you feel about it?
Right, yeah. Let's go ahead and throw him on the hot seat real quick. Carnella
How do
actually wants to
you
hear
feel?
our answer
Thirst Trap
to
put it down again.
huh?
Trap just put it in the message board.
Gotcha.
Focus.
My bad. Look, I'm trying to type, man. New keyboard. It be clicking clacking too
better
slow
find
for me,
you a
man.
mod. The hell?
Ron says I flip flop a lot. Then it could be one thing, then another. Like high school was football and music, then after was just focused on money, and I'm trying to just grind for a house and comfortable living. But knowing actual goals of passion is past just physical material wants. I mean, okay, so kind of to look at what you're saying, like I feel like football and music are passions. I mean, don't get me wrong. People are very passionate about getting money. I know I'm one of them people. But those are more human, like things that you do for human necessity.
Mhm.
Um, I, and I think sometimes people, as they get, into the real world, they kind of confuse human necessity with passion. Because we have to work in some way, shape, or form. We have to make money. We have to, you know, provide ourselves with food, water, and shelter to get at the job. But those are not passions. Those are necessities. Passions are what drive you how do I say it? Well, what pretty much their what drive you. Their what drive you.
What drive you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the fire in your soul.
Okay, we got
Yeah.
some takes on generational curses. First off, Chef Boy B Mac. Generational curse from me and my family is high divorce rates.
Mm.
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 That could be. See, that it's once again it's so vague. That could be a generational curse. I was about to explain how that can't be, but it can be.
It can be.
But it ties
Why did
into
you say it couldn't?
why high divorce rate couldn't be a
Mm-hmm.
generational curse. Because I feel like then that goes into more of a trait thing, but then it goes into like I feel like I was going to have a reason to explain why it isn't, and then I realized that it is a generational curse. So I was
Well,
going.
why is it a generational curse
I'm
then?
saying the reason why I thought it wasn't don't make sense to me, and it was based off of it being a trait more than it is a generational curse. To have to be like to accept that marriage isn't a necessity or priority or something like what I'm saying. Like it makes it that you think differently towards marriage when you always see that, and then realize, oh well, if you always see that and that becomes a not something not a priority to your purpose and all these things, that it becomes a generational curse. So
So what is a generational curse then? Like, because it's
Um,
yes,
still not really defining.
what do
I think
you
I feel
think
like it's a
a
pattern.
generational curse is?
It's a pattern.
okay.
It's basically a family pattern. Like in my family, like I guess it's different on both sides though. Like on one side of my family, it's like drug and alcohol abuse or some type of addiction of some sort, whether it be to a person, to a substance, to a material, to a thing, to a craft. Everybody has some type of like I guess addictive personalities. Where on the other side, it's well, I guess the other side is there really isn't a curse. It's just
I
more of an
had
expectation.
There's somebody defined it here in the chat as generational curses are when parents pass trauma onto their kids that they in turn received from their parents. They're definitely real. One of the easy examples is how mental health was viewed in the Black community for a long time.
yes.
I
Yes.
agree. I agree.
Um,
And kind of like is spot on. And I brought this up when we were actually talking about this episode originally and planning was I don't know if you guys seen that movie Turning Red, but like that's big on that because like it's like the
Mm-hmm.
mom had a bad relationship with her mom, and then in turn she tried so hard, I guess, to have some relationship with her daughter, which in turn turned it to the same thing because her mom did the exact same with her. Like she was just so hard on her, and it just turned into this generational thing of not getting along with your mother. Like I don't know. So I get
Yeah.
that. Like I don't know. Like it's something that keeps waterfalling into each generation.
Yeah, that pattern and
yeah.
that hand down. I think that in looking at some research, I think I always struggled the most with the term of it being curse. And like you have to break this curse and there's some magic wand to wave to break it and whereas really, generational curses being habits and behaviors being passed down from generation to generation, toxic behaviors, family traumas trickling down, all these different things that, prevent healing or prevent, or form those patterns, like you said. For me, for the longest, it was like, do I really believe in these? Because on the big scale of things, I've always felt like you can make that choice to not be that. So, for example, my birth giver was a horrible piece of, it killed two of my siblings.
Yeah,
But,
jeez.
anyways, we're not going to go there. But she never was a mom to me. So I said, well, hey, I don't know how to be a mom because I didn't have a mom, but I did know what not to do. And so, that could have been, trickled down and passed down. whereas that choice to say, hey, no, that's not going to be me. But then there's other areas that I'm like, dang, my father had an anger issue. I've got an anger issue. So there's like those two that are completely like, some of it just, I still to this day struggle with like, oof, is it really? I think if it was called something different, maybe I wouldn't struggle necessarily so much with saying, yeah, generational curses are a thing. But when looking at that definition of those habits, those things trickle down, yeah, they are very real.
This how
Um,
you know it's real.
hold on,
Cause
wait, wait,
this.
wait, 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 wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Before we get more into this, I do want to point a couple things out from the chat. So Ron earlier said, when he was referring to like human necessity versus passion, he was like, surviving, and that goes back to a common saying that you see in a lot of things is, are you living or are you surviving?
Mm.
That's a really big thing that you see a lot, but that you don't really understand until you're put into a predicament where you're only surviving and you're not living. Also, Chef Boy B Mac gave another example of a generational curse that plagues a lot of people.
Oh,
It's
that's a top
wealth.
notch one.
He brought up, generational curses, forgiving people in relationships and stuff like that. Also, creating generational wealth. A lot of families don't leave things, leave that, I guess that,
Immortality.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Um, he also said something else that I'm going to bring up a little bit later. He brought up men's mental health, and that is something I definitely want to get into as far as generational curses. But I don't want to
Yeah.
interrupt you too long there,
Back to
Snook.
that.
So go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I just want to bring those up.
You know, we're getting back to that. But I was piggybacking off of Jamie. General
The
curses,
kitty.
are real because there are people who. Sorry. See, it's your fault.
It's the cat. I'm laughing at the cat. The
Okay.
cat was.
My bad, Dust Trap. Look, general curses or generational curses are real because there are people who are affected by that and do not have their parents or know their storyline. They don't know the generations that they came from, but still have those curses. And for those people who are dealing with that, I feel like that's a lot to deal with. I'm blessed to be able to say that I've have or been in contact with both sides of my family from parents on out, but I do know a lot of people who have not been privileged with that. And that's a double-edged sword, but I'm not going to go into that. But not been privileged with it. Yeah, no, that's a tricky one, right? But they haven't been privileged with knowing these things, and they have to fight these generational curses that they do not know came from. That was a trickle effect, that came to them from their parents, from their grandparents, from they on their forth. So it's deep. It's real.
It is. Um, I know like a lot of generational curses that I suffered with growing up. Um, I've like adamantly tried to make sure I don't put those same curses on my boys. But I also realized that I kind of created a generational curse for my sons, and that's divorce. Um, for like my more prominent and like in my life family, none of them have ever gotten a divorce. I think I'm the first person
Mm.
in a while that's actually had a divorce. So
Don't
that's
claim. Don't claim you creating that. Just because you went through it doesn't mean you have to pass it down to your children.
right, and,
Now
and that's what
beyond
I'm
them, though.
teaching them. I'm teaching them like,
That's what. Oh,
yeah,
Predator speaking on that right now in the chat. Actually,
yeah. I know. I'm getting back to that. Don't worry. I'm definitely gonna touch back to that. But like I said, it's hard because now I have to show them like this isn't what it's supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look like, your mother and your father. I mean, it happens. I'm not gonna say like it doesn't happen, but I don't want them to think like it's a status quo. Like, oh, like you have a baby with somebody and y'all just go your separate ways. Like, no, like a baby is supposed to be a part of a family. It's supposed to be part of a union, a bonding. Like, I know sometimes things don't work out between moms and dads, and it's cool what happens. But I don't want them to ever think like, you know, this is like the status quo. So this is a curse that I have to make sure doesn't like it ends at me.
but that's see that that goes into why I was saying earlier that it's not a generational curse.
Right.
Because you can't predict that situation.
I know.
You can't
I knew
think
exactly where
that,
you were going when
you know
you
what I'm
said
saying?
that.
Like you can't just take that and be like, hey, every chick I'm a mess with, and you gonna mess with, and he gonna mess with, and your kid's gonna mess with. We're bound to be divorced. You can't say that. That's not something you didn't predict. That's not
Right.
something that came based off of like what makes stuff like that become generational curses is not the situation that had happened at hand, but the characteristics beforehand that had maybe have produced that to have happened. Those are two different things. You see what I'm saying? So I
Those
don't know.
characteristics make up your identity.
Yeah, that ID, that plastic thing in the back of my pocket.
Oh, do y'all believe in being a product of your environment? Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Like, and I think that kind of ties into generational curses because I mean, it might not be the generation, but like, I guess the environment and like the
I
let's
agree.
see,
I
or
agree.
y'all having a lot of brain farts.
Um.
I agree.
Like the expectation of that environment. So like people who live in that environment just go ahead and fit that expectation because that's what's expected.
So it's two different versions of becoming a product of your environment. And one I feel is caused by a lack of resources, and the other one I feel like is caused by a lack of drive. Um, during a past career choice, I'm not gonna say what it was. I met a lot of guys who
Pimp. It was a pimp. He
definitely
was
was
Prostitution.
a
That's
not.
what I
pimp.
went to as
Definitely
well.
was
I think
I
not.
went straight to prostitution.
Pimp.
Y'all are
I
wow.
thought
Tommy
Y'all are petty.
Damn.
Bars didn't come from gaming. The bars was that level he put down on him. He was a pimp. But all right, my bad. Show him the coat. Show him the
go ahead,
coat.
Tommy.
Show him the
I'm
coat,
sorry.
Don't
Tommy.
worry.
Show him the coat with the
Wait,
powder in the
don't
hat.
even worry about it. Wait till this motherfucker show up. Don't even worry about it. But I was actually around like a lot of guys who, and they actually told me like a lot of stuff that they did was not by choice. They grew up in an environment where you know they didn't have good role models, and the role
T-bars.
models they had brought them into a life that they shouldn't have been in. They grew up, and that's all they knew. And you guys know that once you get involved in a certain aspect of life, it's not easy to get out of it.
Teen mom. Yep.
So there's a different. I mean, like I said, there is being a product of your environment, but there's like I said, a lack of resources where you don't have anybody to tell you differently or push you to get out of this environment, and then there's a lack of drive. Those who choose to stay a part of their environment, they don't try to get out of it. They make excuses like they don't have the passion to get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how you put that drive aspect of it because, you always have a choice. It's not always the best choices or the best handed ones. The same choices that I have aren't the same as yours, and yours aren't as Snooks. Snooks isn't as Michelle's. But like knowing right, yeah, it's rough.
Y'all got these people laughing at me in the chat. I can't stand y'all.
Mm-hmm. Go to the chat, Tommy. What they saying in there, man?
Tommy Bars is coming. You better have my money. I hate y'all, bro.
Before that, you said you was about to read a couple things and you stopped. We had went on a tangent before you started reading. You was at
Yeah, exactly.
you was at Predator about what's interesting is the curse thing. That's where you was at. Can you finish what you was going to speak on?
Oh, well, I actually want to touch back a little bit further before that.
Okay.
Chef Boy B-Mac brought up men's mental health, and I wanted to wait till this segment specifically for that, because this kind of ties into not only generational curses, but it also ties a little bit into being a part of your environment. Growing up, especially as men, a lot of us were not taught how to express our emotions. We were taught to bottle things up. As you get older, you do kind of realize that you make friends or people you can vent to, but a lot of men don't. They kind of stick to that. I got to be tough. I can't show weakness. Pain is weakness, emotion is weakness, and they bottle that stuff in, and it's unhealthy. It's so unhealthy. But that generational curse of having to be the tough guy, that environment of no weakness, it really leads men down a bad road as far as when it comes to mental health.
So have you broke that?
Oh yeah, I don't mind spilling my. Who don't?
No.
Who don't? I tell her how it
Look, I
is.
ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Tommy and I,
Yeah.
we vent to each other. We speak on some stuff. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
Me and Slick
But
been
I
home
do
2 hours.
yeah, like real stuff. Like I don't even want to talk about the past, but we definitely vent. But I do know, even in those moments, we both had to pull hella teeth to get each other to talk. Like, and that's something that, like, even though he's saying that he broke it, it's still it's not. He just chipped at it. You know what I'm saying? Like he just took the pickaxe and just was chipping at it. And it's the
Wow.
same
How
with
is it
me
only chip?
because I know that we not as men. I know it can't. I feel like it's like how when the sunrise, how
Suffering in
that light hit
silence.
everything at once. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't peek at you. Everything gets hit at once. I feel like breaking the muzzle that men have on ourselves, like that we have a muzzle. We do not speak as much as we should because we get judged by other men, we get judged by women, and we at a or a stage more so where we choose to have it that we are molded by these judgments. And the bottom line is to be a man is to do, not to express. So because we don't express as much, um, like it's such it's probably the biggest problem that men have is that we do not express as much as we should because we're told not to. From Timbuktu,
Labels.
we're told not to speak
Part of
on
part of
certain
those
things.
labels
We
of
speak, we
being a
starve,
man.
I mean, I guess same could be said because I'm pretty much raised by a single mother. And here I am, a single mother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess I don't want to say that's a generational curse because at the same time, like I learned, like what Jamie said, you learn what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Like some things I saw my mom do, and they said I do see myself displaying those characteristics sometimes, and then I stop myself like, yo, I do not want to be the bad qualities of my mother. I want to take on the good qualities that she had of being strong and independent and able to handle things on my own.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also really falling back on, I don't know, emotion. She was very emotional. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you
Yeah, that took us way left field for a second. Addressing back to hearing the two of you talk about the men not speaking on and having muzzles and I see and I hear and I understand. I It's not like you can say yes, it's men as a whole more, but this is something that is also in women too. Like it's a very big problem as a whole, as a generalized mental health issue. Is
I
it
think that's
more
what I was getting at.
is it more in men? Probably, if you took actual like statistics and stuff, it probably heck of a lot is. But then you'll have some men that say, "Hey, that doesn't fit the bill for me. This doesn't sound like me. This isn't, I don't have that problem." And then you'll have some women that say, "Hey, that sounds exactly like me and how I grew up and what I know and what I had to go through." And I mean, heck, I didn't see a therapist till I was 31 years old, okay? I didn't even go to the doctor because you weren't allowed to see a damn doctor. Like, I was scared to go to the doctor until I freaking had issues and needed help, okay? So, I mean, and then it can be with it's just, it's so bad. It's so bad on mental health and the way that people just beat you down.
Well, I ain't trying to start a debate or a dispute, even though this is the real heat. So I'm for it if you try and shoot at me, you know what I'm
Keep
saying?
it hot.
But I do,
Keep it hot. Damn it.
you know what I'm saying? But I do want to say this. Because I spoke about it last episode. Last few years, there has been a woman empowerment going on in general, and it's because women have been able or have been stepping up on speaking out more. And it has so, and because that has happened, it became a woman empowerment. If men do that, it will not be a men empowerment. It would be they some soft ass motherfuckers. Get them out of here. That's what it would be. That's why there's a difference in it. Like when we go into those two criteria, it's like women need to step up more, and this is this, which has been going on, which y'all took that shit, ran with it. It's been going. It's gone. It's gone. It's out there. But with men, when it comes to us stepping back and being able to express just as much as we do, because we are always told and pushed and shaped to do. But when we come to the point where we want to breathe and express, that there will be no men empowerment that comes behind that. Therapy, that's the only thing, but that's neutral. That's like, hey, everybody going to therapy about time, get your shit in there. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like appreciating men for stepping up and voicing and expressing, it can't happen. You will never see this day and age a woman being called out for molesting a whole bunch of guys, and all these guys finally stepping up and saying, hey, that woman did molest us. And it happens. I promise and guarantee that happens. But it will never happen where we have a female big Bill Cosby out there being pointed out at.
Where's the female president at? If you want to compare apples to apples with that, where's our female president? Where are our
that's too vague.
Why are we not making as much
You're having
as men make?
A gender argument. I'm having a curse argument as far as being able to express. I'm not fighting the gender.
How does a female Bill Cosby have anything to do with mental health in a female career? You took it way left field with that.
No, I didn't. I was speaking on expressing. I'm saying if a guy steps out and say, hey, this chick had molested me, it will not be seen as the same as a female saying that.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. It's on. Okay, as a whole, you can't speak for everybody on that. Not speak for everybody on that
I'm speaking on precedent. I'm speaking on it has happened. I'm speaking on it. People have spoke up and it get put under the rug versus when it's spoken up on another angle, it gets put out for publicity to be everybody needs to see that this is going on. This needs to get shut down. Women should not be treated this way. And I agree with it. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying I also agree that when men express these things, it should be accounted for. And it don't get accounted for as much because men can't express. And if we do, we get the moments where people be like, hey, well, y'all get to do this, y'all do that. But that has nothing to do with what the main thing is that men cannot express the way or the same way women can.
Thank you. Oh my God! Look at y'all chat. Thank you.
Oh, I'm watching. I'm watching it.
Oh, that is the number one problem too. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm having.
So I will say this. That this is my take. Because I don't know how we went from mental health to this dispute about people being able to speak up about issues. I will say this. Because Predator even brought it up. Terry Crews did not get not only the acknowledgement, but the support or even people believing him when he spoke out about what happened to him in Hollywood. But it's a running line of women who speak out and are never heard. As much as I hate to call him out because he is a Petersburg native as well, Trey Songz has been receiving allegations for years now that he's pretty much on some R. Kelly shit too, and nobody's really brought him to light. I don't know if you guys try to remember this is some years ago. Kiki Palmer spoke about like Trey, like she pretty much said what people are saying about him now. And people looked at her like she was crazy. We could talk about the women in the military. Things are forever happening.
Why?
And it's just swept under the rug.
That's why I said it can go both ways. I'm not taking from saying men encounter that necessarily, like, no, I'm not taking from saying men receive that more than women, but to say it doesn't, to say it doesn't happen, or to say, this isn't the equivalence to it, isn't in every case. It's not in every person. And I'll be the first one to say I find that highly offensive, because I have spoke up against my own molestation and it was not heard. It was shut down. It was pushed down. It was, oh, it's your fault because you're a female. You shouldn't have been doing da 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 da. Okay, so you say men can't receive that, say, oh, I've been molested, I can't be heard because I'm a man, I should be a man, and I should take it and like it because a female gave it to me. But then as a female, it's like, well, it's your fault. Okay, so there are those, it's both ways on all of it, and their own individual issues with it. And that's where we now, us, our generation, our children, our children's children, teaching that in them, instead of saying, hey, this is hard. This is why I asked Tommy, did you break it? Because he's saying, yes, I broke it. You're saying, no, you didn't. You're still muzzled. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. Telling him, no, you didn't.
If I know that he's still muzzled and I'm pushing him to unmuzzle, I'm not part of the problem. I'm part of the push. So that's the difference, especially in a person who speaks to him personally. Like, I'm telling him as an example. Now,
he has no problem telling me how he feels, especially about you, Snook.
But no, you gotta understand though. Snook is speaking from a time like when I was going through my divorce, and Snook knows I was suffering in silence. Like, I fell off the face of the earth. I was coming in late to work. I wasn't streaming. I wasn't participating in nothing Anchor. Like, I was a ghost in the system. Snook had to bring me out of that hole.
That was because you were a man.
But not just that.
Because you were a man, though.
But listen, not just that, because it sounds like that I'm trying to say it's one versus the other. That's not what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm not saying
that. I want some clarity on that. I want to put clarity on it. I'm not saying at all that it's that y'all don't get muzzled, or that y'all don't get restricted. I'm saying that when y'all finally get to be heard, that is a strong empowerment. I'm saying that is something that is worthy. That is correct. That is what it should be. I'm saying that men have never got to the chance to push for that empowerment.
Not to mention how many men never speak on it.
Exactly. They won't even speak on it to even get to that point. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that women shouldn't speak up, or that women has a lot of obstacles to speak up, especially since we in a man's world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, even with me saying that we in a man's world, men are choosing to create a form of muzzle for men. It's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to clear that up, because I know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know personally, because I'm not a woman, but I know as a male what I have been through, you know what I'm saying, or been subjected to and stuff like that. And I know what I can, or what would be heard, or what wouldn't be heard, or even believed at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I get that there's a parallel line to it. And I also get that men, there has never been a forefront where we stood up to even take the initiative to take those steps, where there's been a push for women to finally get to that stage of empowerment. That empowerment for men don't even exist. It's like men already know what they're supposed to do.
push the women. Other women push the women. So as men, y'all need to come together and push one another, like you're doing with Tommy, to open up to you.
Exactly.
I
Like
agree.
you guys, it's not something that you can blame on women and keep playing the, oh, woe me, too bad, this is why it is, we're going to stay this way. No, it's like, hey, we're the change. We're doing this. We're the change. Let's go. And then to find those ones who will support you, me, Michelle, others who are going to say, you know what, this is a very real thing, and be behind that.
Julio.
Oh,
Michelle, we use
her
that
phone
name.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just continue.
That's all right. That's all right. She'll be back. But my final take on that is, like you said, we as men, a lot of times we don't speak out. A lot of times we do speak out. We don't fully open up. And then, unfortunately, there are a few cases where people who do speak out, and it's laughed at. I mean, we could perfectly point out Tyrese when he has mental breakdown over his daughter. Kanye's several mental breakdowns over the years.
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith, like
We're looking at celebrities.
No,
We're talking
chef
about
boy.
bigger
Keep
people.
your mind in the chat.
there we go. Welcome
Yeah,
back,
no
Cooley.
time for you to fall asleep on video.
The drool hung up the phone. I'm just kidding.
But before we wrap things up, there is one more thing I want to speak on, because we kind of did get into it. As you know, with your ID, as we brought up, as your identity, how do you feel you fit into or don't fit into the standards of our society?
Wait, you asking me? Or you asking the chat?
All of y'all. I'm asking everyone, y'all, the chat.
What you ask?
With your identity, how do you feel you fit into the standards of society?
I'm the motherfucking man. I don't fit in. What you talking about?
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes. You don't fit in because
Okay.
your head too big. That's why you don't fit into the standards.
I can't see you, Michelle.
I guess I'm having some technical difficulties. My phone is glitching a little bit, so I apologize if this seems broken up.
I figured it died because
Um,
it did that thing where when your phone dies and like the picture stays there for like a good 2 minutes and then it finally just closes you out.
All right, back up.
Yes, that's
yeah.
why. Yeah.
And then and I thought it with the timing and the battery, because it tells you like how much time you got left. I thought I had enough time before that happened, and apparently I did not.
Wrong.
And yeah, I was loud and wrong. So I don't know if I know you guys know, but I don't know if the chat knows, but I am a teacher full time. That's what I do. I educate high school. And I feel like admin kind of hates me, and and I guess the education society, because there are different societies. It's not just one thing. Like you got, I'm not even gonna get into it, but in the education society, I kind of know fit in based on the way I dress, my personality. Like I got long, gripper nails. I usually have the crazy hair. Like I do the colored hair. I got nose piercings. Like I got tattoos and stuff. So I know, like, admin looks at me and they're like, "What the world?" You know what I'm saying? So I don't really fit in as what you think a traditional teacher in the education society should be, but at the same time, that doesn't make me any less of a teacher. Like I'm good at what I do, really good.
Yeah.
The looks can be deceiving. So I guess for me, that's my take on it and how I relate. I guess, is that the right
Well,
word?
I know that you had one, Michelle, that you were talking about how you had been perceived, a label was placed on you because of this pregnancy and things. I know that was important for you to talk about too.
Yeah, and and that's true because, like, as I keep saying, I am single and pregnant, and everybody when they hear that, they instantly think, "Oh, you must have been a hoe." Oh,
Mm,
you must have been this. Do you even know who the father is? Do you this and that? And like, and I
mm.
got this label of automatically being this like loose girl or a hoe, and it wasn't even like that. Like, it just happens to be an unfortunate blessing. I mean, not unfortunate. It's very, I mean, it's a blessing. Like, I love my son. Don't get me wrong, but he was definitely not planned. He was not intended. It was not something I was like, oh my God, let me go out and get pregnant. Like, no. Um, so like, I
Yeah.
mean, it happened, you know,
Real
and
quick,
everybody, I've lost a lot of friends, I feel like, over this, in my opinion, because it's just like they now have this judgment of me, and it's not even before even talking to me. They just like, oh, you're pregnant, you're single, this and that, and I'm just like, yeah, and they're like, you know, so
And you know what?
yeah.
Um, I want to point out. So Predator 82 says societal standards are bullshit. Who cares if your personal identity fits in with what people think is what people think is where you should fit?
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with what he said, and this is a perfect example of why. So you just spoke about how you're a single mother, right? Two kids or
Super
one, and
single.
then one on the way, right? And they look at you like,
I,
oh, she's a single mother, it's and a third, yada yada. I go out with my two boys, and it's the complete opposite. Oh, he's a good father. He's got his. I went trunk or treating. Well, last year I can't say this shit. Last year, and when I tell you, people around me were so supportive in the line, and I'm not gonna lie. Like when you see the dads on TV with their kids at the park, like the shit is real. Kids are chick magnets. But regardless, the point I'm trying to make is society's
Yeah.
standards of it's backwards. Like you said, you
it's
go out with
opposite. Like,
kids and it's one way. I go out and it's another way. It just doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
and that's what
And
I
when
was
you
getting
don't,
at. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just
oh, sorry.
agreeing.
When you don't fit in with, or you feel like you don't, those go, I'm sorry, where it was said, go where you fit in at is somewhere that really touches that home to me is like, I don't even know where I'm going with it. Never mind. I'm sorry. Skip
No,
But
that.
you
I
know,
lost my
Tom,
whole thought. I'm
no.
sorry.
Tom,
Actually, go ahead,
you
Corey.
hit it on the nail though, because like, and that's exactly what I was getting at. I tell people I'm a single mom, you know, like my daughter's dad is not the same as my son's dad. They instantly like turn their face up. That's an instant deterrent. That's an instant, oh, you must be this or that. You're not a good person. You aren't a good woman to be with, or this and that. Not saying I'm looking for love or relationships or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? But that does get in the way if I were to go look for companionship or whatever, because people already have this like this this conceived like idea of me without even getting to know who I am or what I'm about. And little do they know I like to sit in the house and read books. I'm a cat woman. Like I love my cat. So you keep seeing the one that keeps popping up. That's Jack Jack, by the way, you guys. Um,
Well, it
um,
doesn't really change your identity or play a role in who you are, then, is basically spinning back to that question of it.
exactly. Exactly. You
It
know what I'm
does.
saying? So I don't know. I'm deeper underneath the surface.
Um, this is I think it's probably one of the last few things I say on this topic. But what you were saying, Jamie, as far as like fitting in, um, I've never fit wholeheartedly into any standard. Um, I'm a nerd, but you never know unless you talk to me. I like music and art, but you never know unless you talk to me. Like I'm not anybody's stereotypical look at any standard, which is why I'm a big pusher of being who you are. Don't try and fit into nobody's group, nobody's standards, nobody's nothing. Be you, and let who you are attract people like minded or just people who just enjoy your energy. But trying
There
to
you
fit
go. You
into a
dropped the
standard,
mic.
like I always be like, oh, I'm a blurred, but I don't feel like I'm blurred enough to be a blurred. Like, just
I'm
saying,
a
like,
super nerd. Love anime. Like y'all see the keyblade on my arm right here? Like I'm super nerd.
but see, if nobody had ever seen that tattoo, they will probably never know.
You're right. I got Totoro on the back for all
See?
my Studio Ghibli fans.
Oh my
See,
god.
there we go. Exactly. Chef Boy, B Mac, and Ron, they agree. Exactly. Carnella said, "For me, I don't move with the purpose of fitting in with society." Whoop, there we go. I would like to believe with me becoming a sound-minded person with virtues, morals, and standards. Ooh, preaching. I'm sorry. I would like to believe with me becoming a sound-minded person with virtues, morals, and standards. The positive energy I put out will surround myself with the right society. Hey,
Gotta
yo.
have positive energy first, though, to get it. So
And that it goes back to the
Touche.
me and the
gotta
being
back
single
what's
mom,
being
two
said.
dads thing. Everybody hears two dads single and pregnant, they instantly think I don't have, I guess, sound morals or this and that, and that's not true. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess stereotypes and people's, I guess, judginess. But what hurts is from people that you thought knew who you were and knew your, I guess, identity. And like people that you thought loved you are the ones coming up with these judgments. It's not even people that you just meet on the street just first time. Like,
That's because they don't know who you are. You may know who you are, but they don't. And that just right there goes to show. And it's okay that people don't know who you are, but it's both parties' faults if you don't also try to be like, hey, this is me.
Right.
This is me. What you knew before was not me. This is me.
yeah. So,
And then
yeah,
once you do that, then it's not on you anymore either.
just coming into an age of knowing myself and letting everybody else know who I am, I guess.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I don't know. I
Say
hope
it loud and proud.
this.
Ugh.
Hey.
Snook, you're muted.
You said what about me?
Oh,
Muted.
I thought you was muted for a
Oh
second.
no, I was muted on purpose real fast.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all.
You wanna add into this, sir?
I mean, I already said what I was saying. I'm the shit. That's how
Yeah,
I
we
break
know. You know. You a GDI.
And my ID's in the back pocket. You know what I'm
You a
saying?
GDI, goddamn individual. We know.
There you
We
go.
know.
No, on some real stuff. I mean, I don't. I'm a jack of all trades, and that's. I don't know. I want to say that I'm breaking curses and I'm doing different things because of that, or I don't fit the stereotype and all that. But the city that I live in is small. Baltimore have, one day I'm living this type of lifestyle, and I can express another type of lifestyle the next. So it's kind of hard for me to say that I'm completely different when here it's so small that a lot of people just are vague in their varieties. I was about to tell Coolio, if they looking at you like that because you Prego, come to Baltimore. They love you over here. So it's different here. So I'm just saying.
Oh,
Just being real.
Oh my God, y'all terrible, bro.
maybe I need to go get pregnant then. Maybe somebody will love me then. Just kidding.
Be more.
And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. Thank you, everybody who came through. You guys are fucking amazing, yo. This was a great episode. So much input, so much dialogue. It was amazing. Yeah, definitely enjoyed every part of it.
Eight.
Anybody realize how many different types of drinks I was drinking?
Different types of drinks.
Oh, I was going in. Y'all ain't peep it?
We peeped. We peeped.
All right.
But yo, if you guys don't know,
drinks.
we are on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. _real_heat_ You can follow us anywhere there. Also, hashtag the real heat. We are checking those hashtags at all times. So if you want to get in on the conversation or even give us topics to talk about, throw that hashtag on the post and we will be checking on that. So without further ado, we will catch you all next Thursday for the next episode of The Real Heat. Peace, chicken grease, and all that other good shit. We'll catch y'all later. Go!